What is up YouTube? I am Eric and you are watching Retro Video Game Pickups. In this video we are talking about the Nintendo 64 and how prices are either going up, going down, or are they just staying the same. So if you like games, consoles, or product reviews, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification. With that being said, let's hop into it. Okay, so a few weeks ago I put out a video talking about how the Gamecube prices are just skyrocketing, whether that is from COVID or if that's from people finally moving on to the Gamecube. And I talked about all that. I had a follow-up video about 2 weeks after that. And then I was recently thinking we should talk about the Nintendo 64. Now, the Gamecube is a system that is starting to really take off right now, and the console before that was the Nintendo 64, and we've seen this with the NES, the SNES, the 64, and now we're seeing it with the Gamecube. So I figured let's go ahead, go back to that console, the Nintendo 64, and talk about what games are doing for that. Are prices skyrocketing? Are they staying the same, or are they decreasing and people just aren't buying it? Now, first off, I do want to say it seems like COVID has made an impact on a lot of different console games. It's not just one specific one or the other. It seems like COVID is making people want to buy more games and spend more money and play more video games, so everything seems to be inflated a little bit. But I want to really talk about some of these games that I have here. Now, the prices are all over the place. Some of them are 30 bucks up to 80 loose, and then you're talking 60 bucks to about $280. I've got the scorecard over here so I can make sure I let you know exactly how much they are. And the prices are going to be based on price charting. Now, I talk about this every time I do a video like this that involves prices. I know price charting isn't the end-all be-all, but I like to use that as kind of a flat line. Now, sometimes eBay is more expensive, sometimes Mercari or Amazon. There's a ton of places that you can buy games from, but I feel like price charting is good overall on average. So what we're going to do in this video is look at 7 different Nintendo 64 games and talk about their pricing. Whether or not I was expecting them to be this big, or if they were cheaper than I thought, and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and check it out. Now, the first game on here is probably my favorite, or one of my favorites from this list, and Paper Mario is that game. Now, I looked at this both loose and complete, and honestly, if you don't have Paper Mario in your collection, you're probably going to have to spend a pretty penny on these things. Now, if you buy this loose based on a Price Charting's website, it is $88. Now, they do cents as well, but I just rounded to the nearest dollar to make that even and easy, but $88 loose. And if you have this game boxed, complete, $279. That to me is absolutely crazy. And I saw this one and I thought, wow, the prices of these games have gone up. But then I looked at others and I noticed some have and some haven't. Like Super Mario 64 is pretty even, Zelda's are pretty even, Smash Bros is pretty even. This game shot up and is just insane. $88 or $280, $279. That is just incredible and crazy to me to even think about. Now, I want to state that I do have all these games either loose or complete, but prices are changing based on what the demand is. So that's why, like, a Super Mario 64 isn't going to fluctuate as much as maybe a rare or harder to find game, because the less games there are, the more demand there is, the price is just going to skyrocket. Whereas with Super Mario 64, there are a ton of them, and same with like the Zeldas. Now, those games hold their value, but they don't really fluctuate that much is what I'm trying to tell you. So these aren't going to be your normal games that you would expect to be $30 and they're $30. These are games that are different and they've changed, and it's just interesting. The next game we're talking about is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Now, the second one is absolutely my favorite of all time of the series, but 3 is a pretty good one, to be honest. And apparently they didn't make as many of these, obviously because it was later on in the lifespan, but loose on price charting, $52. That is insane. Never did I think a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, either 1, 2, or 3 on the 64 would be worth that much, but it really is. Now, if you look at it boxed, it is $83, which is a little more than I expected, to be honest. I would expect this game to be about $25 to $30, and then maybe $50 to $60 loose and then boxed. And so I saw this one and I was absolutely blown away with the prices, to be honest. I only have this one loose, so it's only worth $52, but that's a lot of money. So I definitely had to talk about this game, to be honest. Now the next game here is Ogre Battle 64, Person of Lordly Caliber. I had to read it off because I always forget what that extra stuff is, just Ogre Battle 64. And this is an Atlas game, which kind of makes me not surprised at this price, but at the same time, it does surprise me, and I don't know why, but loose on price charting, this game is $66. That is more than if you went out and bought a brand new game on an Xbox One or a PS4, and that just blows my mind. Now, if you looked at this box, you're looking at $149. That price is crazy high. Now, I looked in my box collection, and guess what I have a box for? This and Paper Mario. The two most expensive games I talk about in this list, I have boxes for. So, you'll be surprised. Check out the games that you have. Check out what you have loose. Check out what you have boxed, and you might be surprised at how much you would get for them. Like, $149 for this boxed is just crazy to me, and I can't believe it. But this is actually worth more than the next game I'm going to be talking about, and that is Mario Party 3. Now, I talked about 1, 2, or 3 in the Nintendo 64 before on this channel, but the prices of this thing is $48, which I think might have gone down a little bit or about stayed the same, and I think that is because this is one of those games that they made so many of. Now, when you look at this game list, the ones that kind of stayed the same are games that they made a ton of, and the ones that fluctuate are the ones that are harder to find. So Mario Party 3, $48 loose, or $136 boxed, which makes this cheaper than Ogre Battle, Org Battle, whatever you want to call it, on the Nintendo 64, which to me, it just blows my mind. This is a game that I anticipated to be about a $50 to $60 game loose, so 48 is not bad. That could just be day to day, but 48 bucks is a pretty good price for this, to be honest. Now, the next game is a great game. It's a great game. If you've never played it, it definitely is one you should pick up, and that is Hydro Thunder. Now, this game is an awesome boat racing game, and I just have so much fun with it, and I feel like a lot of people know about this game. It's a lot of fun. They enjoy it. It's not Wave Race 64, like it wasn't made as much as that, I think, but I think this is definitely still an awesome and fun game. But to me, I see this game and I think $15 to $25 max, but no, price charting has this for $39. You heard that right, $40 for this just loose, and then it is about $50 for it boxed. So the box doesn't do as much for it, but this game is apparently sought after more than I thought about it was. So I definitely have to be on the lookout for this, because Hydro Thunder is one of those games that's a ton of fun to play, but you really don't expect it to be worth that much. So $40 for this loose is just mind-blowing to me. and the same one for this next game. And this game is one I've reviewed on this channel, and I loved it. I had so much fun playing this game, and that is Gauntlet Legends. Now, I would expect this to be about a $15 to $25 game, 20 bucks being probably the average. But yet again, here we are looking at price charting. We're looking at a $37 price, and that's just amazing to me. It seems like this is a game that goes with Hydro Thunder. It's such a fun game to play, and it's not made there weren't as many copies made, so I'm not surprised that this is the price that it is, but at the same time I kind of am. But unlike the earlier game of Hydro Thunder, this is actually worth about double what it is loose. So box, it is $62, which is totally awesome. I do not have this one boxed. Sadly, I wish I did, because the artwork is amazing. But Gauntlet Legends is either $37 or $62, depending on how you pick it up. And that's amazing. That price is totally awesome. And last but not least is this game that I loved as a child. I've talked about it. I have so much fun with it as a child. And now I really think it's lost its shine. Just nostalgia maybe was what it was. Cruisin Exotica. This game is not that great of a racing game. It's okay. I used to think, wow, why don't people talk about this more? And then the more I play it, the more I'm like, yeah, I don't see it. And so I looked this one up and I was very shocked. This game is going for $31. Now I know there's Cruisin USA and Cruisin World, and those were made a lot more copies, but this one was kind of Exotica, I guess? I'm sorry. But loose, this game is $31, which to me is amazing. That's a really good price for this. I would expect 15 to 20 max, but 31 is a good, is a price that's just amazing, to be honest. And looking at it boxed as well, $68. That to me is crazy. This was worth more than both Hydro Thunder and Gauntlet, and when it was boxed, so that just blows me away and surprises me. But I feel like this is definitely a game that I could see going up in value, just because it's not a game that's sought after, to be honest. Alrighty then, that was 7 games on the Nintendo 64 that we rolled through and we talked about. Now, most of these games are fun and awesome. Some, 1 or 2, are not as good as the others, but these prices are still high. Now, I looked and some of them seemed to be high because of COVID, but some of them were high like before COVID. They just fluctuated up just a little bit. And so I think this is definitely still in its prime. When I think of the switch from NES to SNES, then SNES to N64, you can see those prices start to dip for those consoles that were kind of going out of style. But I don't think that's the case at all with the Nintendo 64. I feel like it is still going strong, and the GameCube is ramping up. So GameCube is definitely ramping up in price, which means that's good, but 64 games are still solid as their prices as well. And so I wouldn't just go out and buy all the Nintendo 64 games you can right now, expecting for them to go up, because I would assume that they probably stay stable. Maybe they go up a little bit because of the coronavirus, but then after that I see them kind of coming down a little bit because they do seem a little inflated. I want to know what you guys think. Comment down below and let me know what you think about this. Is the Nintendo 64 prices inflated because people just want them, COVID, or is it something else? Just let me know, comment down below. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification. That way you know when I post more videos, which is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And really, guys, I am having so much fun making these videos. I make them every week. I do 3, and I just enjoy it. I love looking into different topics and just making videos for you guys. So if you like these, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff to support this channel. I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this and it's still during the coronavirus, I want to say practice social distancing, stay home when you can, stay 6 feet away from each other, wash your hands, and last but not least, wear a mask in public. And I want you guys to know that I'm not saying this to be political at all. I just want you and your family to stay safe and healthy. So with that being said, I want to say one more time, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you have a good day.